Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So again, over here looking up some stuff, trying to make things make sense, right? And I feel disturbed, I'm not gonna lie. God, I trust you, please give me the right words to say. And the reason why I'm feeling a little disturbed is because, so I was just over here looking up the dark night of the soul, right? Which is something that I'm very familiar with, something that I apparently recently got triggered into by something or someone, because even the stuff that I'm hearing about, like, I wasn't having those issues. Like I said, I was over here minding my business. But this also goes back to another video, previous video, and I need y'all to go look at these videos, the ones, so that way you know where I'm going from, like lining them up, right? This is where I keep saying religious people judging spiritual people. Because I was just online listening to this one guy's, his version of what was happening with him when he went through his dark night of the soul. He ended up locked up. He ended up just going through the worst scenario. And this is, like I said, I don't know what triggers this, but I'm gonna let y'all listen to something. This is apparently Roman Catholic something. I told you I keep going through these things and I don't know why, but okay, so let me go here and go ahead and
The term dark night of the soul in Roman Catholic spirituality describes a spiritual crisis in the journey toward union with God, like that described by Saint John of the Cross, Saint Therese of the Child Jesus, and the Holy Face OCD, a 19th century French nun and doctor of the Church, wrote of her own experience of the dark night. Her dark night derived from doubt of the existence of eternity, to which doubt she nonetheless did not give intellectual or volitional assent, but rather prevailed by a deepening of her Catholic faith. However, she painfully suffered through this prolonged period of spiritual darkness, even declaring to her fellow nuns, "If you only knew what darkness I am plunged into now." While this spiritual crisis is usually temporary, it may endure for a long time. The dark night of St. Paul of the Cross in the 18th century endured 45 years, from which he ultimately recovered. The dark night of St. Teresa of Calcutta, whose own name in religion she selected in honor of St. Therese, may be the most extensive such case on record, having endured from 1948 almost until her death in 1997, with only Brie.
okay, so, and these are religious people. So this says in Roman Catholic spirituality. Okay, one is a, let me see, where we going?
The poem of St. John of the Cross, in 8 stanzas of 5 lines each, narrates the journey of the soul to mystical union with God. The journey is called the dark night in part because darkness represents the fact that the destination, God, is unknowable. As in the 14th century, mystical classic The Cloud of Unknowing, both pieces are derived from the works of Dionysius the Areopagite in the 6th century. Further, the path per se is unknowable. The first verse of the poem is translated 1. In an obscure night fevered with love's anxiety, O hapless, happy plight, I went, none seeing me forth from my house, where all things quiet be, that is, the body and the mind, with their natural cares, being stilled. At the beginning of the treatise Dark Night, the Declaration, St. John wrote, in this first verse, the soul tells the mode and manner in which it departs, as to its affection, from itself and from all things, dying through a true mortification to all of them and to itself, to arrive at a sweet and delicious life with God. The dark night of the soul does not refer to the difficulties of life in general, too, although the phrase has understandably been taken to refer to such trials. The nights which the soul experiences are the 2 necessary purgations on the path to divine union. The first purgation is of the sensory or sensitive part of the soul, the second of the spiritual part, ascent of Mount Carmel, chapter 1, 2. Such purgations comprise the first of the 3 stages of the mystical journey, followed by those of illumination and then union. 3. St. John does not actually use the term dark night of the soul, but only dark night, noche oscura. Period. There are several steps in this night. W.
Okay, so this is still going, but this is not just a night. This is days for some people.
And years for others.
Which are related in successive stanzas of the poem. The thesis of the poem is the joyful experience of being guided to God, in which the only light in this dark night is that which burns in the soul, which St. John describes as a guide more certain than the midday sun. Acesta mi gibba, ma certo que la luz del mediadia. St. John describes this light as leading the soul engaged in the mystical journey to divine union. The ascent of Mount Carmel is divided into 3 books that reflect the 2 phases of the dark night. The first is a purification of the senses. The second and third books describe the more intense purification of the spirit, titled The Active Night of the Spirit. Dark Night of the Soul further describes the 10 steps on the ladder of mystical love, previously described by St. Thomas Aquinas, and in part by Aristotle. For the time or place of composition are not certain. It is likely that the poem was written between 1577 and 1579. It has been proposed that the poem was composed while John was imprisoned in Toledo, although the few explicit statements in this regard are unconvincing. And second-hand 5. The treatises, written sometime between 1578 and 1585, are commentaries on the poem, explaining its meaning line by line. Padre Lucinio del SS, Sacramento, who edited the critical edition, edition 5, with extremely thorough notes of John of the Cross's complete works in the Bibliotheca Deodaris Christiana Series 6, writes that the idea of the night to analyze the complex psychology of the soul under the purifying influence of grace is the most original and fruitful symbolic creation of the mystic doctor's Doctrine 7. The ascent and the dark night should be considered as forming a single body, as P. Lucinio states, 8 quoting Andres de la Encarnacion and P. Silverio de Santa Teresa. Both works were left uncompleted.
Both works left uncompleted. And you hear this person ended up in jail. The person that I was actually just looking at, he ended up in jail. This is not and it comes off to people outside of this that you're crazy, because again, it's like a purification of you yourself going into meeting God. But if a person, and the sad part about it is, I know of young people going through this ascension. I know of young people going through the dark night of the soul. And this is giving my body that thing, because I know, and it's making me sad also along with that. Because, and I don't want to tell this story because it's not my story to tell, but I just know of a young person that it went real trippy. And I don't know what triggers this, because like I said, some of the stuff that they're talking about is like the death of the ego, this and the third. I don't have that. I didn't have that. So it was like, I didn't care what I told. I didn't care. So I don't know, like I said, if it was just something that I was going to go through anyway, or if it got triggered by, because I've been so connected to people. And if it was the fact that I've been so connected to people and one of those people were going through it, again, another selfish moment that bothers me, because it's almost like I got tossed to the wolves and you figure it out. That's disgusting. That's disgusting for a person to do. And so, and if it was basically me triggering it anyway, I was already with God. So that's what I'm saying. Like, for people die going through this. Young people die going through this situation. And it's almost like a person needs to spot it, because most of the people think they're going trippy and they're doing stuff. Because like I said, the one person that I know that went through this, they ended up having to go to mental evaluations. It was just a lot of stuff that this person went through. And this is what I keep saying about spirituality, religion, and all this other stuff. If y'all know these things exist, at what point in time are y'all going to stand in the gap for these people and say, okay, they're going through something, so let me get them over here to safety, so then that way we can explain to them what they're going through, or, you know, try to help, because nobody helped me just go through that. I went through that on my own, and luckily, again, I had to make sure that I'm screenshotting stuff to know what's real and what was fake. It wasn't a good feeling. And meanwhile, I work for a living. I work in between that. So again, people doing spell work and other stuff, and too many hands in the pot. Y'all don't realize I had too much. It was too much stuff, and that's why it triggered such a hectic, chaotic situation. I was minding my business. And a minute ago, I just said I want to focus on new stuff. And this is the new stuff. Because guess what? Now I'm realizing that there are kids, like teenagers, young adult people, that get triggered into this alone. And y'all spiritual people are talking about some, oh, I went through this by myself and yo, I'm an adult, a grown, full grown ass woman. Sorry, God. Full grown woman. And yes, I had other stuff, you know, hands in the pot. But it was stressful. It was really stressful. And you mean to tell me y'all trying to send 20-year-olds through this by themselves? I'm disappointed. So I'm telling you, some things, it's not making sense. It's not making sense. And I keep going to God about it. And I think I know what I'm supposed to do about it. Because I'm not the person that's going to sit there and let that happen. Like, and then you get them locked up in mental institutions to where they're given medicine. And mind you, these are some of our 144,000. That's what y'all doing? That's what y'all doing. I'm disturbed right now because for some of y'all already going through that, and for some of y'all people already sitting in the position, yo. I am in awe. I cannot believe it. Like, y'all are really... Who amongst y'all can't hear? Because I know he's been telling somebody, because I just showed up to the party. So I know he's been telling somebody. This is very disappointing. And y'all wonder why so many young people are dying. Because they're being triggered early. You sitting here talking about you've been called by God. And y'all know that experience is happening. And you've been through the feeling of that. And you said nothing. You did nothing. Y'all are not good people. I keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. That's not something you let somebody go through by themselves. That's not something because these people are getting arrested. These people are getting shot because they don't know what's triggering them. They don't know what's happening. And listen, and if y'all don't know what that is, look it up. And honestly, because you got to have a strong mind to go through that. Some of these minds are just freshly developed. Why is there not a school? Why is there not a building? Why is there not a place? Why is there not and church ain't it. Church is not it because they don't know what they're going through. That's just what I keep trying to tell y'all. Like, they locking them up. Because for the people that's sitting under the government of saying, oh, we believe in God and we believe in the good book, y'all box is killing people. That's what it's doing. Because instead of y'all saying, okay, something else is happening, this person was fine, so maybe we should talk to him and figure out, okay, the spirituality of it all is taking them to a higher place. There's a ancient one coming. Listen, some of y'all not gonna get this video. And the only reason why I'm actually here even right now is because I gotta go, my car is done today, supposedly, and I gotta go get dressed to pick up my car. Nothing is a coincidence. Nothing is a coincidence, and I know that for a fact. But the fact that I even sat down here, y'all people, and I'm talking about the ones that y'all love titles. Y'all don't take action though. Y'all are disgusting. It's weird. It's coming off very, very weird because I just showed up to the party. I just showed up by accident because somebody else tried to trigger something else. Y'all really can't hear, can y'all? Apparently the chaos is too loud. Apparently there's too much going on down here for y'all people that he sent earlier than me. Because I know I'm not the one that just figured this out. I know I'm not the only one that just figured this out. It can't be. The ones of you that made it through, he didn't tell you to do nothing after you did that. When y'all started seeing these kids dying down here, y'all didn't know what he was trying to tell you. So what? Those that have eyes, y'all can't see. The people that hear, I don't know what the scripture is. I'm not looking it up because right now I feel disgusted. Because I know good and well this is not what y'all letting people go through by themselves. And the funny part is, even, see, some years ago, and I still have the paperwork for it because I wanted to start, I didn't know what it was, but what I wanted to do, but it was a spiritual place. But the person that I was connected to at the time, I didn't really know if I wanted to go into this situation with them. But now it just, listen, I gotta go. But at the end of the day, y'all, the people, the ones that are hollering about I'm this, I'm that, I'm this particular person, I'm this particular, y'all need to email me because I think I got something that I want to say to all y'all. Because you think you this and you think you that, but you're not making no action on the this and that. Y'all titles are nothing. Your titles are nothing if you don't do your job. He sent you here to do a job. And y'all are letting these little kids go through this. It wasn't fun. It was not fun. And like I said, I had that on me along with some little other crap going on. So no. Y'all can keep y'all titles. The work needs to be talked about. The work needs to get done. The kingdom needs to get built. Y'all are letting the people who are supposed to be part of the kingdom die for a title. That's what we doing. And for the love of money, that's what we doing. I don't like it. And I'm gonna keep saying it. I know y'all wonder why I keep saying it. I don't like it. Because it almost feels like to me like I got... This is a mess. And I'm here to tell you. And y'all gonna be mad. Watch your mouth. I gotta go get dressed. But y'all people down here, and I don't mean the other, y'all, like I said, if you don't know what I mean, just click out because it's not for you. It is for, y'all know who y'all are. It's y'all. Y'all are, what y'all doing? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Some things have to change. That's all I got to say. Some stuff has to change. We got to figure this out. Because worrying about yourself is for when you in other people's business. And you're not minding your business. Helping the kingdom is to worry about your brother. You are your brother's keeper down here. And going through that, alone, as a child or a young person, and not knowing, and then you go outside And now you're at the mercy of the government, the police, the whatever, because now you done flipped out. They think you done went crazy. They think, when all the while you're on a journey for God. And nobody thought that they should do anything. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I am just in awe.